Sebelum kita ke laporan seterusnya, kita ke bilik berita bersama editor eksekutif Razak Chik. Silakan Cik Razak.
Terima kasih rakan di studio. Pada pagi ini kita berpeluang untuk berkomunikasi melalui telefon dengan Nikki Battiste, produser dan juga wartawan ABC yang sudah berkampung di Perth sejak seminggu lamanya untuk membuat liputan tentang pencarian MH370. Good morning, Nikki. Are you there?
Good morning. Yes, thank you.
Nikki, the weather plays a big part in the sea life of Australians, especially those living in Perth. Now, when I last spoke with you, we were hoping that we would be talking again in happier circumstances, but alas, it's not to be. We've got news that we know the flight MH370 actually flew this southern corridor, and that is where the flight ended, somewhere deep in the southern Indian Ocean. Can you give us a sense of what the weather is that has caused the search to be called off?
Yes, I was speaking with some of the crew and on the pier space, and my understanding is that there are 13-foot swells in the area of the Indian Ocean where the search was supposed to be focused today, which is just far too dangerous. And I know that the HMAS Success, the Australian ship that was headed to look for some of the objects spotted yesterday, actually had to turn back and head to calmer waters. So it's also raining here in Australia for the first time in about 3 months. So there was some frustration on the pier, on the base today, especially with the news last night. I know these crews really just want to get out and try to find some answers for these families. So today the search is definitely suspended. Tomorrow, as of now, it's on, but I think they're going to play it by ear and make that call tomorrow morning.
To give a sense to us here in Malaysia about how difficult the conditions are out there in the Indian Ocean, are you on dry land? Would you be able to just perhaps give us a sense of, even from where you are, you can see out there in the ocean how big the swells are and how big the waves are?
Well, we had two of my colleagues were on one of the P3 flights yesterday, and which flew as low as 200 feet, and he told me that you could see some of the waves and the power of the water. It's one of the deepest parts of the Indian Ocean, and some people today were saying that these waves there's a storm coming in, and these waves were extremely dangerous and powerful, and also, unfortunately, that obviously this means any debris that's out there is probably moving quickly and being more spread out.
For the people who are out there in the search, what would the dangers be? There would be high waves, there would be low visibility, but anyone in any sturdy ship, for example, or people up searching in the air, that kind of weather wouldn't be affected, would it?
I'm sorry. Well, I think it will affect the ship. The waves were far too strong. It had to turn around, so dangerous for the ship to even go to where they need to be. So the safety of the crew, I think, is one consideration. And for the flights, I think also just the wind and the sort of power of the wind, especially because they have to go so low to the water. But also the visibility has been bad the last few days because of the weather. And, I don't know what the ultimate reasoning was, but I'm sure more than anything it was just danger for both the flight crew and the ship crew.
Inmarsat satellite data has shown roughly where the track of the aircraft was, but the difficulty for the searchers would be to pinpoint exactly where the plane landed, and what would the search at this point be, because we know roughly where it is, but the track, but not exactly where it is. What kind of searches would be carried out once the weather clears?
They'll continue to search the area that they've narrowed down. They basically make that area into a grid and take one portion of it a day. So they'll keep looking. I do know that we heard reports yesterday that 2 objects were seen by one of the Australian P3s, a gray or green circular object and an orange rectangular object, and the HMAS Success ship headed to find those objects, but it was confirmed to us this morning that they didn't. So I think they'll just keep, we have these various satellite images, but none of the objects have actually been found or recovered from the ocean. So I think they'll continue to search the area sort of section by section until they hopefully find something, or it'll move if, the storm, they'll recalculate where the currents may have, moved debris. So maybe they'll shift the search area.
Reports have been coming in about objects and debris being sighted here and there. Is the focus of the day for the press contingent in Perth today, the expectation to see a ship come in to show whatever debris there is and to confirm its origins?
That's the hope, of course. Everyone here, as you know, we are waiting here in Perth for the presser happening in Malaysia at 12:30 to hear what will be said. The hope here is that one of these flights or one of these aircraft or one of these ships will, in fact, find some debris. We've heard that they've spotted wood panels, and it was confirmed there were some sort of wood panels on the flight, but it could have come from another ship as well. So they're just going to keep looking, but no debris has been recovered yet, so no way of knowing, yet for sure if that's where the plane is.
If there's no activity today out at sea, would it be fair to say that there would be a certain amount of downtime today and all the searchers would be on dry land and the press contingent would also be similarly unoccupied for the rest of the day?
Yes, that's correct. It's fairly quiet here now, and we're all just waiting for the press conference where you are.
Could you give us a sense of the, I bet by now there is this swelling size of the press contingent in Perth. Is Perth able to cope with this influx of visitors and people coming in?
Yeah, it's probably several hundred press. It's probably doubled in the last 2 days, I would say. We've been here for a week now, so we've seen it grow extensively. Most of the press is at the Pierce Air Base, and they've, there's a section for the media. Perth seems to be able to accommodate everyone so far, and the Pierce Air Base has been very accommodating to taking people out to see planes taking off, and AMSA has been good at answering questions. So far it's okay, but it's extremely crowded, I will say, in the media area.
I would think must the airline would already be making moves to book hotel rooms and lodging facilities to place family members who would be brought to Perth for the next part of the search. Do you have any sense of whether Perth has got enough facilities and rooms to accommodate everyone?
That's a good question. I mean, it's a fairly sizable city and has quite a few hotels, but a lot of people, a lot of family and family members. So I think it'll be, and already a lot of press here, so I'm sure it'll be tight, but hopefully, that has been handled in advance. Hopefully someone planned in advance and has space for any families that will be flown here.
For most of the media today, Nikki, especially ABC, what is the plan for the day? Just a lot more waiting, or there would be other press conferences that will be going on, which you know of in Perth?
We don't know of any press conferences happening here. My understanding, AMSA is sending a representative here, so it seems there will be someone on the ground. No press conference that we know of yet from AMSA, but they continue to tweet and send out press releases, every few hours. But I don't think we'll hear anything more from them, I suspect, until tomorrow morning regarding whether or not the search will resume.
Nikki, so I guess we would wish everyone in the search party, including the media contingent, to take a bit of rest before search resumes when the weather lets up. Thank you very much, Nikki.
Thank you.
Ya, rakan di studio, tadi itulah perbualan saya dengan Nikki Battiste di Perth, Australia, di mana pencarian untuk hari ini telah ditangguh disebabkan cuaca tidak menentu dan begitu buruk sekali untuk kapal-kapal laut maupun pesawat untuk melakukan gerakan pencarian. Balik ke studio.
Baiklah, terima kasih Encik Razak.